Hello and welcome back to Ultima 7, the Black Gate and Forge of Virtue. So we are here in Minuk, and we have just recruited our newest party member, Julia, the Tinker, or Tinkerer? So I'm not totally sure if there's a difference. She comes with some bananas, which we do not need, and a hammer, which I guess she can use for now. She is level 3, she has 0 training points, she's not particularly strong, kind of dexterous, but she is quite intelligent, she's not particularly useful in combat, and she has 12 hit points. Let's compare her to Janna. I'm actually not sure how they compare. Okay, yeah, so Janna's better in the physical aspects, although still the same in combat, more HP and more XP. And of course Janna can heal and resurrect us, which is huge. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we've got Julia, and if anything right now we need her just for the extra carrying capacity. Let's get some light spark, shall we? And let's keep going. We came from this way, I believe. I think this is just the Artist Guild. That's right, we've been in here. Have we spoken to you? You see a cheerful woman with bright eyes and blonde hair. Name? Hello, my name is Xanthia. Job? I'm a member of the Artist Guild in Minuk. I make and sell candelabras. Candelabras? I make simple candelabras, but sometimes I will do commissioned work, making more specific ones. I was hired by the Fellowship to make the candelabras for all of their Fellowship halls. The Fellowship? Eleanor, the head of the local Fellowship branch, showed me a picture of the Fellowship symbol, and I based the design for my candelabra on that. So, we did find, although because of the glitch, it doesn't actually stay there, but but I mentioned it, we did find a candelabra at the murder site in Minuk. So, let's see what she has to say about that. You described the candelabra found at the murder scene to Xanthia. Her eyes widen with recognition. Yes, that is one of the candelabras I made. 'Twas in the sawmill at the murder site? Yep. Xanthia looked shocked. How horrible! I swear I do not know how it could have gotten there. Thou shouldst certainly ask Eleanor about it. What do you think of Eleanor? Yes, she's quite a recruiter. Why, she got Burnside, our mayor, to join, as well as Gregor, the local head of the Britannian Mining Company, and Owen, our shipwright. He is soon to be famous, I'm sorry to say. He is soon to be famous, I'm sorry to say. She has never asked me to join, thank goodness. What do you think of Owen? They are to build a monument to Owen for some reason or another. Owen and Eleanor refused to use anyone from the guild to help build it. Rather rude of them, dost thou now think? Tell me about the Art Guild. We are a guild of artists and craftspeople united for the common good and dedicated to the advancement of the arts, as well as showing other artists that it is possible to exist solely by thine own efforts without sacrificing thy creativity. And what's it like in Minuk? With the success of the mine, Minuk is a prosperous city, not a place where one is used to having murders happen. A good place for our Artist Guild to do well, but things have always been hard for us here. Now I fear they may get worse. Why do you think they'll get worse? That is what Gladstone says. Thou hadst better ask him about it. I think we did. And tell me about the murders. It's so terrible. I never knew Federico or Tanya personally, but I did meet their son Sasha once. He was a nice boy, if somewhat misguided. He spent the night with us once at the Artist Guild as a guest of Syrah. Okay, bye. Farewell, my lord. I hope I was of some assistance to thee. You were. And I think we've already... Oh. You know who probably needs boots? Is Julia. don't... No, we don't want the hammer. Anybody else awake? I guess it doesn't matter if they're awake. Anybody else home? No, we've been in here. Anybody in bed? No. Whoops. I really do love the music in this game. Who is this? Is this Gladstone? Hello. You see a handsome, creative-looking young man. Name? Excuse me. I'm called Sira, my lord. A pleasure to meet thee. Job? I am a member of our local artist guild here in Minok. Tell me about the guild. Yes, we have an artist guild here in Minok. I am a member. The other members are Xanthia and Gladstone. Thou canst purchase some of our finest crafts available anywhere in Britannia. Anywhere thou canst, as in cannot, I guess. Purchase some of the finest crafts available anywhere in Britannia there. No, I'm misunderstanding. Anyways, I, for example, make clocks. Clocks? I make all types of clocks and watches that tell the time reliably to the second. I would be happy to sell thee one, but right now I have a 2-year backlog to fill. Gladstone? Gladstone is a sculptor and a glassblower. He also is in charge of the most of the business decisions for the guild. Xanthia? Xanthia is a very talented young woman. She makes very elaborate and distinctive candelabras. What do you think of Minok? Until the monument was to be built, and now these murders, I believed this town to be a good place to live. What do you know about the murders? It is horrible. Frederico and Tanya were looking for their son, Sasha. He had run away to join the Fellowship. How could this have happened to them? Sirius slowly shakes his head. Sasha? I met him a few weeks ago when he came to town looking for the Fellowship branch. I once let him stay the night at the guild hall. He said his father would beat him if he knew he was thinking of joining the Fellowship, and I believed him. Sasha's father could be a cruel man. He was basically a good lad, just looking for the truth, like a lot of us are. Unfortunately, he is looking in the wrong place. Fellowship? The Fellowship is the philosophical group devoted to the... Oh, I'm not a member. Oh, this isn't the normal thing. Whoops. But I see. But I've heard the basic speech from Sasha so many times that I have it memorized. I never tried to dissuade him from joining the Fellowship, even though I have no belief in it. I think Sasha is old enough to start making his decisions for himself. Now I truly regret not sending him home the moment I saw him. What do you know about the Travelers? Their camp is just outside of the town. There are not too many of them left. I understand that Sasha's aunt, Margareta, is an amazing fortune-teller. For a few gold coins she can tell me many things that may be very useful to thee. Yeah, she dropped some wisdom bombs on us. And what do you think of the monument? That shipwright Owen is a self-righteous fool. His statue will be nothing more than a monument to all the hurtful bad feelings he has caused in this town. I cannot believe that such a meaningless and obvious charade could jeopardize our guild's future. Future? Thou hast best ask Gladstone about that. Excuse me. Okay, bye. A pleasant day to thee, my lord. Do come see us again. And we've been in here. Oh, no, because there's a lockpick. Yoink. What time is it? 1:38. We still have the mystery key as well. I guess we didn't check the Fellowship because the meeting was going on last time. Oh. Ah, you do get something. Ah. So why do you have a crystal ball looking into Lord British's bedroom? Interesting. Not suspicious at all. Bring in some cloth. Book of the Fellowship. Did we read this? I don't know if we did. We will, though. The Book of the Fellowship by Batlin of Britain. Good morning to thee, gentle friend and traveller. No matter what time of day it might be when thou art reading this, no matter what the hour of the clock, I say good morning to thee, because this very moment brings to thee the coming of the dawn. The dawn, as everyone knows, is the moment when illumination comes. The dawn marks the end of the long dark night. It is the moment that marks a new beginning. It is my humble hope that these words may be for thee a dawning, or at least a sort of awakening. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. We were down here already. This just takes us around. Maybe not. Spark, my lad, let us have a little more light. We have been here? Oh, right, this is Owen's home. Ah, but we have not yet spoken to him, have we? No. You see a young man dressed in an expensive tunic. He is very serious. Name? My name, my lord, is Owen. It is a name I suspect thou shalt be hearing more of in the future. Job? He looks you in the eye and speaks without the slightest trace of modesty. I am, he says, the greatest shipwright in the history of Minok. I'm the greatest shipwright who has ever lived. Greatest? And dost thou know how I became that way? I shall tell thee. I started to hear a voice in mine head. Oh, I know that thou shalt think me mad. Voices? These were not the voices of anyone I have ever known, but still these voices had a profound effect on me. Mad? After searching for a meaning to this voice, which proved difficult, for how dost thou tell someone, especially a stranger, that thou art hearing a voice in thine head? I came across the Fellowship. They taught me what the voice was. What was the voice? This was the voice of reason within mine own mind, which sought to guide my life in its proper direction. The Fellowship taught me how to trust this voice and heed what it says, and thou canst see the result in mine own life. I have mastered my craft and advanced the teachings of shipbuilding through the methods I have devised. What methods? I've even written a book describing the advances I have made in the methods of shipbuilding. It is very advanced, but I have tried to write it so that it is accessible to the layman. Wouldst thou be interested in purchasing a copy? No, thank you. Humph. I suppose that it would be beyond thy comprehension anyway. Tell me about the Fellowship. Okay, no. Okay. My friend, there was a time when I thought that my life was at its end. I felt as though I had been swallowed into a cold, deep hole of darkness. Darkness? My very soul felt as though it had sunk into a place into which no light could enter. Soon after, I discovered the Fellowship. The difference that it made in my life was miraculous. Philosophy. Should have known better. When was the last time you saw the Crown Jewel? The Crown Jewel was in town and left early this morning. It was scheduled to sail for Pause. Ah! Missed it. And did you see a man with a hook? I saw a man with a hook for a hand wandering around town last night. The night of the murder. No way. Tell me about Minok. Despite all this business with murders, I must confess that I love it here. This is the place where I was born. They love me. They are going to be building a monument here in mine honor. I suppose I have been worthy of it, but still I can't help but be flattered. Monument? Oh, thou canst ask anyone in town about it. They all know. Murderers. He shakes his head slowly. They are going to be unveiling my monument sometime in the near future. Dost thou think the talk of these events will keep people away from the ceremony? That would be a tragedy. What can we buy from you? Mine establishment is presently closed. I do not wish to discuss business at this time. Buy. Probably sextants and deeds to ships, I guess. So there's Owen. He's nice. Oh yeah, and he, of course, confirms that the crown jewel was here, and that that a man with a hook was seen wandering around town the same night that these murders took place, and of course they are gone now. So we are hot on the tails of our suspects. You see a man whose long hours of difficult, smoldering work have frozen his face into a rigid expression with eyes like hot coals. Name? I'm Zorn. Job? I'm the blacksmith of Minok. Blacksmith? I make weapons and armor. Weapons and armor? Perhaps we could speak more of these things another time. Say, perhaps during the business hours of my shop? Minok? Minok is a quiet city. Minok is quite a city. Money changes hands here, but it does not keep people happy. They find something to squabble over. And now these terrible murders have everyone afraid. What do you know about the murders? No one in this town ever really hated the travelers, at least not that I've ever been aware of. Who could have done such a thing? Squabble? This noise over Owen's monument, for instance. People ought to tend to their own business and let others handle their own, foolish or not. Monument? Owen is building a monument to himself. It is 40 feet tall, depicting him building up a roll of plans. Pigeons will have a place to sit forevermore. Why argue over something as unimportant as that? Owen? He is our town shipwright. He is a man who has an exceedingly high opinion of himself. Okay, thanks, Zorn. Goodbye, my lord. This is Owen's, I don't know what you call it, shop. These are his books. Torches. We probably got enough torches for now. Oh, locked. Lock picks first. I guess I probably should have tried the key first. Let's try the key. Nothing. Let's try the keys first this time. Smart guy. Nope. Nope. Ooh. Yoink. Don't need those. Whoops. Oh, that's nice. We checked these? Yeah, we checked these. Okay. Alright. That's nice gold. Thanks, Owen. Is that everybody? Where does this go? Here, we don't need there. Excuse me. I don't know, we haven't been to the... Have we spoken to the miners? I don't think so. Who's in here? Checkered Cork, Register, Stars of You, Lord Chimino, Sir Dupre. Wonder if they were here together. Keth of Moonglow, Doric, Vinder of Jellum. we spoken to you? I can't remember. Hello. You see a weary-looking man who is missing his right arm. With his one hand, he scratches his head and squints in your general direction. Name? He lets out a sharp cough to clear his throat. Rutherford's me name. Pleased to meet ya. He extends his greasy hand for you to shake and does not retract it until it is clasped. Job? Why, I be the barkeep of the Checkered Cork. No better place in Minot to discuss the events of the day. Murders? Well, I suppose that clears thee from the list of possible murderers. If thou wert the murderer, thou wouldst not have to be asking questions o' people about what happened regarding the murders. Thou wouldst already know, having been there. Know anything about the Crown Jewel? That ship was, indeed, here of late. In fact, 'twas the night of the murders. Could there be a connection? Man with a hook? I know him. He be a pirate who lives in Buccaneer's Den. Ah. They say Hook is so mean he'd kill his own mother for the right price, and I would wager they's right. Why, I got into a fight with this Hook once. I was lucky, and I escaped losing only me right arm, and still with one good eye left. It was somewhere around that time that I started having second thoughts about my career as a pirate, and now here I be. I have not seen him recently, but the description of the murder scene certainly sounds like his handiwork. I agree. Events? Before all this evil at the sawmill, the buzz were all about the monument. What do you think of the monument? Oh, that must mean the statue. That must mean that statue they are going to be building of our shipwright. His name is Owen, a local boy. I understand it is to be as tall as a man on horseback, and shows Owen gazing through a telescope, or some such thing like that. Sawmill? Say, thou not be from around here? He looks at you skeptically. Thou art not from the Fellowship by any chance, art thou? Nope. Just asking. Thou dost not have to take any offense. What do you think of the Fellowship? Thank goodness that with all the town at each other's throats in recent weeks, we have the Fellowship trying to hold the town together. I be no member or nothing, but I just be heard of all the good things they done. Feeding the poor and such. What do you know about the murders? Oh no, we already did that. Minot? Yep, this town's usually bloody quiet. That was until recently. His squinting eye suddenly opens wide and stares straight at you. Okay. I shall see thee later. At least I will if thou dost stay in front of me good eye. You got, ooh, poison dagger. Actually, you know what? We will take the poison dagger. Julia? Unlocked. There's no food. Okay, well why don't we let's sleep. Oh, who has me bedroll? Spark. Let's sleep and let the town wake up, and then let's talk to Eleanor about that there candelabra. Rise, Lucan. Time to continue the quest. Is anybody... Okay, no. Just Rutherford. Eleanor? You see a woman whose cultured manner is tinged with a suggestion of arrogance. Name? She straightens her shoulders and looks you in the eye. I am Eleanor. Job? I'm the head counselor of the Fellowship branch here in Minot. We're a society of spiritual seekers dedicated to achieving our highest potential, advancing worthiness, unity, and trust in our brothers. Perhaps thou wouldst to join our fellowship? Not right now. I can see by the look in thine eyes that thou dost lack the courage to take this vital step in thy life. Perhaps one day soon thou shalt be ready. She looks down her nose at you. We shall see. Jeez. Fellowship? The fellowship is highly regarded in Minot. Why, even the mayor himself is a member. I brought him into the fellowship myself. He was the first new member of our local branch. Gregor, the head of the fellowship here, directs the Britannian Mining Council. Many fellowship members pass through Minot. Minot? We should strive to put this business of the murders behind us. Minot will soon be known throughout Britannia as the city where majestic ships are built. There is even going to be a statue erected in the center of town honoring our shipwright, Owen. He is a skilled and valued member of our community, and, of course, a fellowship member. Owen? He is a classic example of the fellowship making a vast difference in a person's life. Before he joined the fellowship, he was without confidence and ready to put aside his trade. Now he stands on the verge of being recognized as the finest at his craft in the world. What do you know about the murders? I am saddened at the loss, but cannot say I am surprised. Federico and Tanya were antagonistic people. The same may be said of most of them. I have nothing against them personally, of course. Of course not. What do you know about the travelers? They've set up camp southeast of town, near the sawmill. That is suspicious, dost thou not think? Not really. Know anything about the Crown Jewel? Many ships come and go in our busy port. I do not know of any one specific ship. Perhaps thou should ask Owen. A man with a hook? A man with a hook? I'm certain I would remember having seen anyone like that, and I am positive thou dost not match the description of any fellowship member at this branch has ever come in contact with. Okay. Sounds written. You think they were antagonistic people? Federico and Tanya treated all members of our fellowship as if we were diseased. Federico particularly would often bully our members. Thou dost know it is common knowledge that we are pacifists. He had a reputation for cruelty, even among his own people. It is not surprising he came to a violent end. Well, we did find this candelabra at the murder site. Yes, the Fellowship commissioned Xanthia to create a candelabra which thou dost describe. Its design incorporates our three tenets: U for unity, T for trust, and W for worthiness. You tell Eleanor that it was found at the murder site. Eleanor registers surprise. I cannot imagine why it was there. Someone must be trying to implicate the Fellowship. She thinks a moment. If thou didst ask it of me, I would wager that Federico and Tanya were murdered by their own people, and another one of them placed the candelabra at the site to implicate us. They would kill their own mother if it meant gaining a bit of gold. Ugh. Deny. I have a feeling we shall see each other again. Deny. What you got in here? Oh, look. Yoink. Been in here. There's the magic arrows. Did we go in there? Yeah. And up here is the mine? Question mark? Oh, if we're in the mine, let's gear up. Actually, time flies. We will actually stop things here and pick back up exploring what I think anyways is the Minot mine. See you then.